In this video, we're gonna take the brand new Intel Xeon W processors and we're gonna do 3 builds. 1, a lower cost, lower power server/workstation build with tons of PCIe Gen5 connectivity and ECC memory support. For the second build, we're gonna take that workstation, build it up with a 56 core CPU, an NVIDIA RTX 6000 Ada generation, a 32 terabyte SSD, and we're gonna build an awesome DIY workstation. And third, we're gonna show you the ultimate, a 56 core liquid cooled monster from Falcon Northwest that is both rack mounted and super quiet. We have a lot to cover today, so let's get to it. Hey guys, this is Patrick from STH. Intel has some new high-end Xeon W workstation processors with DDR5 ECC RDIMM support and a ton of PCIe Gen5 for amazing connectivity. These chips are based on the Sapphire Rapids Xeon platform, but they're tailored for the workstation market because they have some features that even those high-end Xeons don't have. And since these chips have connectivity that you can't even get on the server parts, I said, why don't we go do some builds and show people the range of options you have? And I didn't just want to do the high-end 56 core part because those are awesome, but I also wanted to look at lower end parts like a 12 core part that's a lot more affordable if you just need connectivity and you don't need a super expensive CPU. We get a lot of feedback that the high end is cool, but it's really expensive, so I wanted to show you something that's a little bit less expensive and explain why for a lot of people this might be an awesome platform. But of course, if you want to see a fast workstation, we have that with this liquid cooled rack mount Falcon Northwest server/workstation that is absolutely awesome. I can't wait to show you guys that later in this video. But before we get started, I want to say a couple thank yous. We're going to be using the Asus Pro WS W790E Sage SE. Crazy long name. This motherboard is going to be the foundation of all 3 builds. It has things like built-in dual 10G base T, it has IPMI for server management, it also has 8 DDR5 memory channels and you can overclock those, we'll show you that in a bit. It also has an amazing array of PCIe Gen5 connectivity, so if you want to plug a whole bunch of things into your system, you can do that here and they can go fast at PCIe Gen5 speeds. But of course, this video took a ton to put together, so I just want to say thank you to the folks down below. Like everything we do, nobody got to see this video before it goes live, so we can do it editorially independently. With that, let's get to the builds. Okay, for our first build, we're gonna do a budget option. Now, of course, this is gonna be much more expensive than your average, Ryzen or Core desktop, but on the other hand, it offers a ton more connectivity. We're gonna pair this motherboard with a Intel Xeon W-3400. That is a 12-core CPU, and it is by far not the fastest one that Intel has. What it does have, however, is a ton of PCIe Gen5 lanes. And so this is a build all about connectivity. A quick thank you to the STH YouTube members for helping us buy this Xeon W5 so we can show you a lower end option. If you want to help, you can join down below. Because this is a Xeon W-3400 series processor, we get a full 8 channels of DDR5 memory and we get ECC RDIMM support, so it's no problem to go and put things like a 64 gig DIMM, for example, and have 8 of them for 512 gigabytes of memory. Of course, it costs a lot more, but you could go up and put 128 gig DIMMs in here, no problem. You could also go down and only put 16 gig DIMMs, and that would give you 128 gigabytes. The bigger win by far is the PCIe connectivity. The Xeon W-3400 series platform has 112 lanes of PCIe Gen5. This Asus motherboard has a ton of PCIe Gen5 slots, but it also has other connectivity if you want it. If you just wanted to make this a storage server, you still have IPMI, you have ECC RDIMM memory, and with all that PCIe Gen5, you can use things like this Kioxia CM7 SSD, which is a PCIe Gen5 SSD, and go absolutely crazy fast. At the same time, you could also add a Broadcom controller for all of your SAS and SATA disks. There is a ton of connectivity options here. And it's not just storage. You can add things like we just did a 400 gigabit Ethernet. You could put a 400 gigabit Ethernet adapter because you have PCIe Gen5 by 16. You can do that. You could put GPUs in here and you can do almost anything you want. I'll also point out that Intel has the Xeon W-2400 series like this Xeon W-2495X. Now, while these processors work in this motherboard, they also tend to cost a little bit less and they also use a little bit less power. You do lose things like the 8-channel DDR5. Instead, you only get 4-channel and you only get 64 64 PCIe Gen 5 lanes. However, if you're using things like double slot GPUs or something like that, where you're just not going to use all the density that this offers, maybe something like this is an option to save a few bucks more. And of course, this is the W7, the high-end one. There are lower-end options too, just for lower cost connectivity. And in our original build, we're using the Noctua 4U cooler, which fit absolutely no problem and had no problem cooling these processors. We have this in a desktop case, but you could put it in a 4U server case and still use the same cooler. But next, let's start talking about this system behind me, which is a DIY 56-core monster build. Making a server or server/workstation platform out of this is great, but really, let's talk about the high-end DIY workstation. And for this, we have a couple little treats. One is that, yeah, we have a second camera now. Okay, so for the system, we took the same base Asus motherboard. We also added a couple of fun things. The first thing is that we upgraded the CPU to the Intel Xeon W-3400X. The X means, yes, you can do a bit of overclocking with this as well. Now, on top of that giant 56-core part, we put a larger Noctua cooler. We couldn't fit the largest one that they had, but we could fit one step down. Thank you again to Noctua for sending all of these. Next, on the memory side, we have 8 64 gig DDR5 ECC RDIMM, so we have a ½ terabyte of memory in this. That's what I run in my personal workstation because I find that I'm often using over 200 gigabytes of memory. And because we made this a workstation, we are using the NVIDIA RTX 6000 Ada edition, which is the new hotness in workstation GPUs. We're gonna show you another build with a NVIDIA RTX 4090 later, but this thing was just the highest one that we had around. For storage, we're using a 32 terabyte NVMe SSD because we had it available. Had we done this about 3 weeks later, we would have used either the QXES CM7 SSD, which is a PCIe Gen 5 SSD, or this giant Solidigm 61.44 terabyte NVMe SSD. We're gonna have more on this on the STH and this one on the STH main site pretty darn soon. And of course, while we have one SSD here, you could put a ton in this system because you have 112 PCIe Gen 5 lanes. Now let's talk about networking real quick. This motherboard has dual Intel X710, so 10 G-base-T controllers built into the motherboard. So if you're doing 10 gig Ethernet, you don't actually need to do anything. The one thing the motherboard does not have built in is Wi-Fi, so we added a little Wi-Fi 6 card here just to have that. Of course, depending on your environment, you might use these PCIe Gen 5 by 16 slots for 400 gig networking, or you might just use it for like a DPU, 100 gig networking, something like that as well. Again, you have a ton of slots, so you can do almost anything you want, and this is more connectivity than you'd see in something like an Apple Mac Pro. Now, out of the box, this 56-core part performed much better than our 12-core Xeon W-3400. It also performed much better than the Xeon W-7-2495X. And it performed on par with some of the best Xeon W systems out there and better than a lot of the systems from companies like Lenovo and other large OEMs. And while this is fast, the question is, can you go faster? And the answer to that is a resounding yes from Falcon Northwest, because Falcon Northwest used this motherboard, this CPU, and went even faster with a liquid-cooled rack mount workstation that's overclocked. Now, as we were doing that last build, Falcon Northwest reached out and said, hey, we have an overclock solution, and that is the third system that we're gonna look at right now. This system is absolutely crazy. The first thing you're gonna notice is that this is a relatively short depth chassis. It's a 4U chassis, so sure, it's tall, but it's not necessarily super deep like we see a lot of Xeon Sapphire Rapids servers. In fact, if you need a short depth Sapphire Rapids server and you have like 4U and you kind of want to put like GPUs and stuff like that in there, this thing could actually be an option just even for the server market, not just the workstation market that they're targeting. This system is called the Falcon Northwest Rack, and that's R-A-K instead of R-A-C-K, I guess that's their branding. And the rack is awesome because instead of doing what a lot of us have all done over the years, bought 4U rack mount servers from Chenbro, Supermicro, Norco, Rosewell, all kinds of different vendors and tried building systems out of those, Falcon Northwest has already done that integration for you. And it even has a cool light up logo in front. And inside, this system is an absolute beast. We still have the same Asus motherboard, but Falcon Northwest has built something absolutely awesome inside. The first thing you're gonna notice is that there is liquid cooling. So this looks like a Silverstone block. You can see the tubes, and then we have a radiator right here with 4 large fans that are pushing air through the system. And these 4 noise blocker fans are designed to not only move air, but be very quiet. So you can put these into things like, next to your desk in a studio rack or something like that. And this is not a super loud system. That is the whole point. Now, the memory used here is super interesting. This is a 128 gig Kingston kit, but it is designed specifically for overclocking. Kingston offers the Fury Renegade Pro ECC DDR5 RDIMMs up to DDR5 6000 speeds, which means you can get a lot more memory performance out of something like this than if you just use standard server RDIMMs. Kind of like what we use normally. And the Falcon Northwest rack is using the Asus motherboard's ability to support that DDR5 high-speed memory and actually give you overclocked memory in a system like this. That means that this system can have up to 25% more memory bandwidth than your standard Sapphire Rapid Xeon, even the ones that cost over $10,000. We're gonna have a piece on Xeon Max with HBM, but that's a little different. For the GPU, we had an RTX 6000 ADA like we showed previously, but because we only had one of those, we are showing a RTX 4090 in here, and you can see that this GPU fits no problem, and we've been running this thing with no issues. There's a ton of area around the GPU, and these fans are able to push enough airflow that cooling this thing, even in a short depth 4U chassis, is no problem. Now, the performance of this thing is absolutely stellar, and this is a platform that can actually go past a Threadripper Pro 5995WX system. And the reason that this system is able to do that, and a lot of the OEM systems, like if you were to get a Lenovo ThinkStation or something like that, it will not be able to. And the reason is a couple of things. One, we have faster memory because we have overclocked Kingston memory in here. Two, this also is using liquid cooling. We saw previously when we looked at a Supermicro liquid cooled versus a Lenovo air cooled workstation that the difference of liquid cooling these high-end chips is significant. However, the other thing that this allows Falcon Northwest to do is it allows them to push the power limit on the Asus motherboard all the way up to the Intel specified limit. If you buy an OEM system from one of the big OEMs, you usually only get a lower power level and you don't get like the full power that these systems can actually use. Now I'm saying that, and let me be clear that that means that you are gonna raise the overall power consumption of the system. With this giant GPU, you can get the system to go pull 1.4, 1.5 kilowatts. That's totally possible, and it's a lot more than our DIY build. While that sounds like a lot of power, if you need the fastest workstation available, well, this is your option. Some folks in these types of builds are getting over 100,000 on Cinebench R23. Now here's the crazy part. When Brian was setting the system up, doing B-roll, all that kind of stuff, he literally ran into my office and exclaimed, "Oh my gosh, this thing, you won't believe it, is so quiet." And so I rushed into the studio, I was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh my gosh, this thing, I thought it was gonna be like a crazy loud system, but it's actually quiet enough. And the idea is that you could go put this in a home theater, you could put this in an audio rack or something like that. It's not silent because it's using a ton of power, but on the other hand, it is like way quieter than I thought it would be. So something I just wanna show is just really how quiet this thing is. This is a 34 dBA noise floor studio, and we'll let you hear it here. But at about 1 meter over there, it's running at somewhere in the 37.5 to 38 dBA range. That is awesome when you consider just how powerful this system is. Okay, now in all of these videos, I like to have key lessons learned. What did we learn by doing this? First, I think a lot of the Xeon W-3400 and 2400 launches focused on high-end chips like the W9-3495X. And as we saw, those things are absolutely fast, but if you were to go down to some of the lower cost options in the range, you still get a ton of PCIe Gen5 connectivity, you get plenty of DDR5 ECC memory, and you could build things that are like workstation or server hybrids that I think are a lot better. A lot of people are trying to make like core systems or Ryzen systems into servers, and they're trying to, they just don't have enough PCIe lanes, and this costs a bit more, but it also has a ton more connectivity. And the really cool thing about it is that we're using the same motherboard, and we've created things that are more of like servers, more of workstations. We have a rack mount workstation, and this workstation is faster than all of the single socket workstations that you would get from a Lenovo, Dell, or HP, because it's just tuned that much better. So guys, this took a ton of time to put together, but we're gonna have reviews of all this stuff on the STH main site over the coming weeks. You can check out more in the description or just go to the STH main site regularly. We also have a ton of awesome YouTube videos, so if you did like this video, well, why don't you share it with your friends, give it a like, click subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you can see whenever we come out with great new videos. As always, thanks for watching. Have an awesome day.